Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Lockout, your weekly Supercoach show. Daily? Well, fuck, we're going to uptick on that. But,
definitely not, brother.
Definitely not. But
we could, though. We could. We talk about it every day.
Bro, pretty much just do a live stream at work every day, just us talking about Supercoach, eh? But, guys, you know the guy next to me here, my brother Brody, that's with us weekly, week in, week out, and he's bringing the OnlyFans look to us in the show here, shirtless. No doggies jersey getting tattooed on you, bro. That's a bit interesting.
Nah, no doggies jersey until we win, brother. Well, once we win a grand final, probably cover this up. I'll black it out and then I'll white over with the doggies.
Can you imagine the big white V like on your chest?
It's coming. It's coming.
Guys, if you jump in the chat, let us know, guys. Obviously, this is a live stream, so jump in the chat, let us know your thoughts, and also let us know if Brody should get a doggies jersey tattoo. If you win the grand final, bro, yeah, you get a doggies jersey tattooed all over you, yeah?
I think so. Mrs. will hate it, but I think so.
Oh, that sounds, crazy. But we're just talking Supercoach, guys, before we jumped on live, but I want to kind of like continue on the thoughts that we were talking about just before. You obviously bringing up that this season just seems like a season that high scores seem to be just getting floated around left, right, center. We're about to go to top scorers of the week, but it's just the amount of hundreds that are getting give out at the moment is craziness.
Yeah, it used to be, a luxury of, 2-3 guys that would maybe get over 100 each week last year. Now I think there was like about 6 to 10 that got it just this week alone. In that first week, we've seen a lot of big hundreds. So they must have really changed the way they score things. Maybe they're given more points per meters or stuff like that. They've upped their points per thing, I reckon. So I haven't actually officially seen what they give per try and stuff like that now. But yeah, we're seeing a lot more hundreds, definitely.
It's crazy, man. Like, as I said, we're about to jump over to it, but you got players like Clint Gutherson, like averaging 129 at the moment, which is absolutely insanity to start the season. I don't think anyone really predicted that, even from, the Gutherson at the Dragons. But yeah, it's just been a season that it's such a good season for everyone to jump in on. The flex positions helping out a lot of people as well. I was just talking to one of the bros, Joshy, about trades coming into this week, and the reason why I was kind of looking at holding Tom Trbojevic. Don't want to spoil it for everyone, but I'm looking at it, right? But the flex helps with that, right? So if he comes next week and he plays Parramatta, he pulls a hamstring with the flex position, like it's the top 17 scorers. So if every other 17 player goes really well, like his score will just drop out anyway. So it saves a lot of that as well. So I think a lot of teams are doing really well due to that flex position.
I actually haven't noticed that. So I don't know who's actually dropped out for me the last 2 weeks because I haven't really been paying attention to that.
I know we're not used to it yet. Like I'm definitely not used to it. I remember obviously complaining about Casey McLean and Metcalf's average of my first week, right?
Yeah,
but one of those would have been dropped out of my score. So
same then. Okay, so we can actually probably review that when we go through the team and have a look at last week's score because I'm actually curious to see who dropped out. But yeah, that's not too bad then.
100%. Shout out to the chat. They're going absolutely mental to start off the show here. The Toilet Inspector. If the Warriors win, he has to get a Warriors tattoo.
Fuck, that's a Lockie thing, brother. Remember, Lockie made that bet. That wasn't me.
And he said the comp this year, the comp. Michael Williams, good to see you in the chat as always. Not first this week, but he's in the chat. Tats out, gats out, getting swole, my bro.
Trying, my brother, trying.
Shout out to Tans, the good old Shake. How you going? And Josh, this is the Josh I was talking about, Joshua Hill. Thank you, Ash, for the trade out turbo advice. Yeah, you could go, you couldn't go. Obviously, about to see Brodie's trade as well, which was very similar to what you thought. So we'll touch on that in a bit of future. Tahi, she's Brodie, a fortune in ink.
Yeah, brother, this is only half of it.
Oh, bro, yeah, don't get the rest of it out, yeah?
No, I can't take my pants off. We'll get closed down.
And Joshua Hill, Ash said, trade him out. No, I didn't, brother. No, I didn't. You know the real conversation we had.
You up.
Yeah. All right, brother, let's may as well get through the top scorers of the week in Supercoach. It's been, as we touched on before, a crazy week in Supercoach. Clint Gutherson, 146 points. How crazy is that, right? As you said, took away Nico Hines' try assist and just give it to Gutherson.
I'm telling you, I watched this very closely, and last week Nico Hines set up a try, 2-3 passes in, and didn't get the try assist credited to him. But Gutherson did that in round one, and he got 3 of them credited to him. It's Somebody at Fox League has Clint Gutherson captain each week, and they're just feeding this guy try assist. I reckon he would probably pass it from dummy half, and there'll be 20 more passes in the one play. They'll give him the try assist. I'm telling you.
How crazy is that, bro? Like listening to a lot of other Supercoach podcasts and stuff. You know, the Supercoach Playbook is a great podcast, guys. If you want to go check it out, Timmy Williams and that, and his brother, The Spy. The Spy was trying to explain to people what the try assists, you know, like what they were and like, you know, how they count it in Supercoach and stuff. But he's been bombarded this week as well with a whole lot of similar claims to what you're claiming of, with a lot of other players as well. So it just seems like being a
call, mate.
Bro, yeah, it's so objective that like really it could go any different way. And you know, as I said, I prefer Fox League statistically to NRL, but there is moments where NRL kind of has the right sort of thought as well. So it's so tough. Why can't we just run by just one view set of how stats get called?
Exactly. Like if the center's only passing and not doing any work, then the try assist needs to go to the guy inside of him. But if the center's, you know, got to, you know, really draw in another guy and draw and pass, then that's a try assist to the center. It's simple as that. But I don't know, week in, week out, or game by game, it looks like it's changing, just like the referees' rules.
Yeah, that was like the Zach Hosking line break assist that didn't get given to him in the first week of Vegas, where he pretty much was the one that put Tomoko down the field, and he ended up scoring a try for it. So that was a crazy one there. Caleb Ponga, 129 points. I end up capping in this week. We will touch on that a little bit later on. But, you know, coming against the Gold Coast Titans this week with a little bit of a lesser team behind him, but still KP, he could get up around those sort of numbers again soon too.
No doubt, especially with the goal kicking.
Yeah, other names here, James Tedesco and Daniel Tupou, the two big performers against the Penrith Panthers in that massive upset that they had. So great scores there, 119. James Tedesco just continuing on his Supercoach streak at the moment, which is great to see.
Yeah, we thought we'd see a dip in that, but it didn't take Teddy long to get back up into those hundreds that we're used to seeing, for sure.
Yeah, so he's still going to, I'm pretty sure, drop 100K from the last time I've seen. But with that 100 in his average, like he's going to get straight back up again.
Oh, 100%. Like he would be a good one to look at potentially after their third game. So after this week, you know, wait for that price drop.
Yeah, 100%. Sania Turuva with that 117 on that wing with the West Tigers. Great to see out of Turuva. Lukey Metz, that's what we love to see as a Warriors fan there. Jason Saab against the Warriors, 114. Just the amount of line breaks that he had in that game. Due to that slick out the back play, he is definitely someone to stop. But with Tommy Trbojevic out this week, that's going to be a big talking point in Manly and how they're going to score. And we'll touch on that a little bit later on in the future. Sam Stonestreet, I know a couple of people in the chat that do have Sam Stonestreet going big there. Cal Iro, 111. And shout out to my boy Wade Egan, the hooker in the middle, 491K, 110 this week. A great little knock there from Wado.
Killer, brother. You may as well go through all these guys scoring 100. They're all top scorers if you're cracking that hundy.
Tino Fasil Malaawi, Connor Watson with 103, Tom Starling, a lot of people trading him in for a really big price rise there, 103, Lockie Galvin, 101. Shout out to Payne Haas, only a 99 here, but the average that he's carrying at the moment, 101.5, and we will touch more on Payne Haas very shortly.
That's middle forward work ethic without a try so far this year on Payne Haas. And Tino, shout out to fucking Tino, first game back in over a year and a half layoff. Year and a bit layoff, sorry, not a year and a half. Fucking killer performance, you know, and it was against a good pack as well of the doggies to do what he did. And this is why I picked him up on Supercoach and happily held him during that bye round because he was a non-negotiable for me.
Right, just a guy that honestly, you know, on the same field at Belmore that he did his ACL against, you know, a similar pack that ran out there that weekend that did it to him. You know, he comes out there and shows out. It was honestly the best player out of that Titans team, other than maybe Keanu Keeney later on in the game. But other than that, like he was the only one that really put in the effort for the whole 80 minutes there that he was, well, the whole minutes that he had out in the field. So shout out to him. Incredible bounce back there.
That's why that man's the Gold Coast captain, brother.
That is it. That is exactly it, my bro. So let's jump over to team performance. I'm just about to get our game day squads up on the screen. Were you happy with your performance this week, my bro?
I'm not.
You weren't too happy. Let's see what your score was in this week, guys. We'll jump back over here. So me and Brody, this is round 3. I'm so sorry, guys. About to get this back up. Where are you at, brother? Where are you at? There we
Too
are.
far down
15.
for my liking.
So my squad here, 1,371. Brodie squad here, 1,264. So still a 12,000 score, a solid score out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, go through sides that you missed. Obviously, Kalen Ponga, I end up captaining him. We're getting a double score there. You got 129. We're both talking about this, obviously, messaging back and forth. Great little score there from KP.
That's what I'm dirty about, was that I didn't have the vice captaincy loop on him there. I thought I'd be safe with the Travojevic, and then, you know, he started on fire, and obviously the hamstring injury really hindered him. But yeah, I'm spewing that I didn't have KP as vice. That's really what I'm mad about. Otherwise, you know, I'd be up at that. Well, double 129, add another 129 to that. Fuck, I don't know. I'm not doing maths right now. But I would have been in the 1300s, which is where I should have been with the other performances that I've had in my team this week of the guys scoring very highly. But that's what I'm dirty about mostly.
Yeah.
But how are you supposed to know, man? Travojevic was just supposed to go off against you guys, and he started hot. So it's a gamble you take.
One thing I would say, you recovered really well with ended up getting Nathan Cleary as your captain, because I remember coming into that week, you had Tom Trbojevic captain, as we spoke about. So you end up jumping off Tom Trbojevic. That would have, 59, wouldn't have been the greatest. At least Cleary got the 80, and that helped you out as much as you could there, getting the 160 on the double. Looking at other players for you here, Jermaine Asako with the 39, Tom Trbojevic 59.
No ball, man. No ball, and that's the problem sometimes. The centers at the Dolphins, look, Asako will either have a blinder or he'll get shit like this, and it just depends on if the centers pass the ball. And Redcliffe were just in one of those moods on the weekend where it just didn't get past either the back row or the center, and I don't understand why that happens. When you got killers like Asako outside you, they can finish on almost any try with little space. Like, just disappointing. Yeah, exactly.
They just couldn't get started in that game at the Newcastle. And it's been 2 weeks in a row now that they've had a lot of errors in their lineup, in their game as well. A lot of roll ball penalties. That real dumb one from Felice Kafusi, where it should have been a try scoring moment there. So just the Dolphins are really struggling to kick into form, and they're hoping to this week with the West Tigers, right?
Definitely, I think the Dolphins bounce back this week, and we see a big score from Asako. So holding him.
So the rest of you guys here, we got Blake Brayley on a 63, Jesse Arthurs on a 96. Jesse Arthurs, we'll talk more about him very, very shortly. Paddy Carrigan, 53 there. A little dip from his week before. Canberra definitely took it to that forward pack, but Paddy probably needs to be better there.
Yeah, I think the Broncos kind of went away from what worked for them last week. The egos of the halves and Walshy tried to just spread too early, and because they weren't in front, they started to play catch-up footy, which involved even more spreading of the ball. So there was just less work through the middle there. So I think that's mostly the reason for Paddy's dip there. And hats off to Canberra for literally just containing him,
Yeah, that's 2 weeks in a row they've done that to two sides there. Obviously, the Brisbane Broncos trying to go sideways, and my New Zealand Warriors in week 1 in Vegas. We just didn't want to go for the fight in the middle, and it's very similar there. Like, the Raiders seem to be a side that's doing them early in the season. They seem to be doing that. Let's have to see how they go mid to late in the season with the Raiders, because they're very high on energy right now by the looks of it.
Definitely, they come in fit, strong. It's typical Raider footy first 5 rounds.
100%. Lockie Galvin, good to see you get that big score there on Lockie Galvin, 101 points there. Could have been a little captain option there that we didn't really think of, but West Tigers didn't impress us too much in that round 1, so I can definitely see why not.
Yeah. I'll speak more about Galvin when we go through this week preview, but happy. That Sunday really saved me there with Galvin, and then the next score that you're about to talk about.
Yeah, Tino Fa'asul Mala'awi, 109 points. Massive one there, Bella. Tino, as we just touched on before, the work rate that he gets through, and he's the sole leader in the middle of that pack there.
100%, man, 100%. And he's just a must-have on Supercoach if that dude's fit and healthy. He's going to have at least one carrier set, if not 2.
Yeah, and unable to get through him this week, but I will be looking at him the week after, obviously, before his price rise, because he is very, very tasty.
He's a very cheap option right now, for sure.
Yeah, for what he can build, he definitely is cheap. Bronson Sherry getting a 39. We'll touch on more Bronson Sherry very shortly, I do believe. So not a great performance there from him, from a guy that just doesn't seem to be getting Supercoach points, but looking at him, the eye test says he should be, but he's just not getting them.
It's just, yeah, it's one of those guys, as you just said, the eye test, you would happily have him in your team. You love his work ethic, you love his energy, but just doesn't reflect on the Supercoach scores. And sometimes that happens, Kicking myself about, selecting him instead of over Montoya. They were the two doggies that I was tossing up at the start of the season, and you can't get them all right,
Nah, 100%, bro. Greg Marju, Casey McLean, Nico Hines, all are getting decent scores without being absolutely incredible. Like Marju being unbelievable for that center wing spot with the 84, which is good to see. Nico getting back into some sort of form there. Casey McLean in a poor performance, still with a 72. Really, really solid look there.
Yeah, good bounce back. And we knew that was going to happen. We knew that Casey McLean could produce his score lines, and that's why I think a lot of people did load up on him in that 440 range. These are our common players. So we both can mutually agree on these guys here. And yeah,
100%.
really good bounce back. And I'm glad that he's still got his spot this week so far, unless there's late news to come in the next hour.
100%, bro. 4 more here. Corey Horsworth, the 84. We both absolutely love that. He's kicked off the season with a blinder. So good to see, bro. He's going to make a ton of cash for us. Shibasaki there, Iongi, and Tupanua not getting their best games out there for us. Tupanua still willing to build out cash now. Kikau's out with injury, so definitely a hold for me right now. Shibasaki, Iongi, a little bit more disappointing there, but they can still. And
for you, I think you're on the same path as me. Is they're just really price rises here. Shibasaki, Iongi, definitely. Tupanua now is going to have a back row spot for the next few weeks, which we'll touch more on. But yeah, really great option there to pick him up after that week 1 performance and now getting a starting spot for week 3. But yeah, Shibasaki and Iongi, for me anyway, isn't going to be there for much longer once this price increase comes.
No. And looking down
it's cold down there, bro.
The non-scorers, what you have here, Fine Fuyaki, Metcalf, Vaimoanga, Sandon Smith, Nafahu White, Robert Toya there, Lockie Hubner with a 52, Jack Jeski with a 18.
Oh, there we go. So he dropped out for me.
That would have been the guy that dropped out for you. And because I did the loop, Harry Grant was the guy that dropped out for me.
Beautiful.
This week.
You can't complain about that, though.
Can't complain about that at all. Good scores there. Looking at my squad from top to bottom, 13, 71 as I touched on before. Good performances there. Dylan Lucas, unfortunately going down to a hamstring injury, but 97 before that happens. He's going to build cash when he gets back from that injury.
Awesome pickup for that one, bro. You called that.
Yeah, 100%.
Hold on, bro.
Joshy Hill. Anyone else got some audio issues? Just me. Guys, let me know if any audio thing is screwing up. I'll try and fix it up if I can. I'm not sure what audio issues we'll be having. Is it on Brodie's end or my end too, Josh? Let us know. Very, very quickly. Nothing
So
more.
Do you like things and stuff?
Do you like stuff and things? Got it. Tahi, any audio issues right now, brother? Let me know straight away. You're a good
He's
chatter.
gutted, but I don't know what by.
Yeah, gutted. I'm not sure what by either. Hopefully not by the audio. It's good here. It might be just me, maybe.
Josh, get off your Samsung, brother.
Josh, get your better internet over there in New Zealand, brother. Nah, love you, mate.
You with that Vodafone, aren't you, brother?
It's one New Zealand now, mate. It's one.
Oh,
right?
whatever. It's cheap shit.
It makes us look like Iron Man on the football field. So
hey, I'll take that. You're right. Yeah, the sponsor does look good. I'll give you that.
All right, moving back, guys, to the squad. Lukey Metcalf, 117. Absolutely love that for Lukey. A good bounce back and ended up getting on that score.
You're glad about that, aren't you? Because you were iffy whether to trade him out since you didn't have another option there. And, well, look what he produced.
I know. I doubted him for a second there, but I'm so happy that I held really strong with my boy Lukey Mets.
He's taking shots. All right.
Oh, Joshy. Yeah, that's right. You're 5 points ahead of me, aren't you? I'm chasing you down, baby. I gave you the bum tips this week then. Hey?
Yeah, the Raiders are also on top of the ladder, brother. Do you think they're going to win the grand final?
He's a Warriors fan too, bro. He doesn't want to hear
that. We'll leave that there.
Love it. Oh, 2 points there, Joshy. We'll have to wait and see, hey. Tom Trebojevic with the 59, Ruben Garrick with the 54. Not the greatest performances from those two over in New Zealand. Good to see, obviously, Nathan Cleary, Sandon Smith, and Lockie Hubner getting those scores. Terrell May, A great little scorer there for me, 87 points back to back. And Adam Dewey with 75 with the goal kicking, even though Api Coruscant is still there. So
yeah,
great to see.
Great signs for you, brother. That's a really smart pickup. And yeah, Terrell May, man, as much as he's had the question marks about him, he's getting through plenty of work, as we've touched on a lot.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. All right, guys, I'm going to reload up my squad so you can see my trade in and out.
I think we should stop showing these guys, bro. They're cheating off us too much.
Yeah, Josh is going to be fired up to see this one. I already gave him all my trades before he jumped on. So trade out Tommy Turbo, bro. Trade him out.
I'll back you trading him out, Josh.
All right, guys, jumping over to my squad here. So this is how we look right now. Looking at the trades that I did do here and the trade ins and outs. I went Casey McLean to Tamale, and that's more of a cash building exercise for me. Casey McLean has a rumor at the moment whether he is going to play or not. By the sounds of it, he is playing. That's what I'm hearing at the moment. So
he is, but you know that he's probably going to struggle to score as good as well. And after that round one performance, you know that he might tank in cash a little bit if he doesn't get. I think his break even's sitting at 80. I don't think he's going to get 80 against a team like Melbourne, but who knows?
100%, bro. Moving up there too, I got Jesse Arthurs in there for Ruben Garrick. Probably the more riskier one because Ruben Garrick was my centre wing gun. But with the performances of Greggy Marju and even Adam Dewey to start the season, I felt more comfortable to roll that. And Tamale and Jesse Arthurs both been scoring fairly well. Ruben Garrick's going to hold his price at the moment. I'm pretty sure his break-even's around that 76, 77 range. With no Tom Trbojevic there, I don't think he's going to get upwards of that range just yet. So I went the risky play of go Jesse Arthurs for the cash, and we'll look at him more so down the track when Tom Trbojevic is backfiring, ready to go.
Yeah, I agree. We touched on this morning. You know, Manly without Tom Trbojevic is a team that's probably 2, if not 3 tries less per game. In my opinion, that's how much of an influence that Tommy has on the Eagles. And, you know, that affects Ruben Garrick in the fact that he might not get a try from Tommy setting him up for a try assist, and it affects him with not goal kicking. So these are the big things that are going to impact Ruben Garrick on his score. So, yeah, definitely with week 3 looming, it's good to put in these guys that are going to go up in cash. So I can 100% see what you're doing here.
100%. So looking at Tamale, probably get up to that 3 to 350K range. Jesse Arthurs should get up to that 400K range, so that can
probably more, bro. Probably more.
Yeah, say something like that, and that allowed me to do because I built a lot of cash with those trades. Charlie Geimer, obviously a guy that unluckily has been pushed out of the Parramatta Eels with that first dropping, and hasn't seen a jersey back since, which I think is fairly harsh. I thought it was all right when he was out there. It was a lot better than Kelma Tuolangi in that, but anyway, moving on. End up moving him up to Payne Haas because obviously a guy like Charlie Geimer is not going to be out there. Payne Haas averaging 100 at the moment. If I don't get him now, I'm going to miss the boat, and I don't want to miss the boat.
Yeah, look, you don't want to be paying 800K plus for front rowers. So if you can grab the guys that are going to tip to go to that and hold that, which is Payne Haas, grab them now.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I couldn't agree more. So moving back to my team here, so I don't reverse my trades just quickly.
Just in case.
All right, moving back down to the bottom. So at the moment, I've got Kalen Ponga as my captain for the week against the Gold Coast Titans. Looking at other scorers, I do have other ideas of who I'm going to vice captain and what's going to happen during the week. But I've got him there in that flex position. Iongi is sitting in that fullback position. So the news now that Tom Trbojevic is definitely not playing this weekend, guys. So that has just been confirmed. My idea before that was having Tom Trbojevic on the bench as a reserve. If he wasn't playing, take the reserve off him and move him over to Tamale, maybe on the bench as a reserve, you know, depending on how long it was going to take. But now that we know, take him off reserve, play Iongi, and just let it be what it is at the moment.
Yeah, look, with the way that the Doggies play footy of pinning guys in their corner, Iongi should definitely get a lot more than 25 just from the work that he'll have to do from his back end. Add in, you know, maybe he could potentially get a line break, a try assist. I highly doubt it. You know, he's playing a great team, but, you know, he might sneak a try in there or something. You never know. So if he gets anything over 40, it's a win, in my opinion. So, yeah.
And what helps me a lot is you could definitely tell me, this is my question to you, who is your best kick chase option at the Doggies?
Kick out, bro.
Yeah, so missing out kick out in that lineup, you're not going to have this big bouldering Fijian just rushing into your face and trying to take your head off. So
yeah, it'll just be Stephen Crichton now, bro, which is also fucking scary. Have you seen that dude sprint downfield? Holy fuck.
bro, that guy is just chiseled out of stone too. Like,
He is, bro. Do you see, like, this is what I think the Bulldogs are building on. If you watch Stephen Crichton when he makes tackles, he stares directly at the referee and he's talking to him. He's watching the referee on when to say move. And guys aren't doing this. And I think that's just the little differences. I've seen a little bit of a podcast. We're just going to get a little sidetracked here. Of
that's right.
Connor Tracy, and he was on Bloke in a Bar.
Bloke in a Bar.
And Serraldo's game plan is to not get so complicated. Footy is a very simple game. And his philosophy is do the simple things perfectly and you'll win a lot of games. And the proof is in the pudding. You know, if you know how to play the ball properly, you're not giving away penalties, you're not giving the cheap turnover. If you're making your tackles, if you're doing the things right, like, you know, outside foot up, you're always facing the ball, the concentration's there, there's not as much complacency, just so many things that you really think about it. And sometimes all you need to do is run hard, tackle hard. It's pretty simple.
Sometimes we overcomplicate a game that is not that complicated or shouldn't be that complicated. And that's what I've been loving from this Penrith system and the coaches that we both have had. I know the Warriors obviously had a poorer season last season, but you know, it's a system that is all built on footy IQ. The best parts of football, what you're supposed to be doing in football. Kick to your corner, get your kick chase down there, limit their meters out of their back end, turn the ball over in good field position so you get in good field position, and you have more opportunities on the other team's line. More than times than not, you're going to score a try out of it if you're good enough. And that's the thing with all these sides. It's simple football. And that's why I keep arguing with people. It's like everyone wants flair out of the Warriors. They want, like, you know, the offloads and going crazy. It's like that builds inconsistency. Look at sides like the Titans, stuff like that. I know we're getting sidetracked, but you know that's what I mean. Like, it's simple football. That wins games.
Bang on, brother. The game plan is go head to head. You know, we're going to be fitter than these guys, and we're going to make them make the mistakes, and we'll capitalize on that. And that's the type of footy that I can see in our system and what Webby is trying to get in to your system.
Yep, and it's exactly what Penrith have been doing for the last 4 to 5 years. Simple system, always wins out at the end of the day. Yep. Shout out to the Tall Inspector. I traded in Haas, Reynolds, Cal Ito, traded out Kobe Hetherington, Brimson, and Turbo.
The Brimso one, I don't know about that. I'm actually targeting Brimson to potentially move into my center wing position, you know, with his hands on the ball as much as it is as a 5'8". I like him as a center option.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Like Cal Ito, depending on where the Sharks really want to attack, I feel like they look a lot more threatening on that right-hand side, going Nico Hines, Brinton Accorda, Jesse Ramian out to Stone Street on that side. So sometimes he won't get as much ball and have the big try-scoring moments that he did last week. So that's just our opinion anyway. If you want to run with that, have some fun, like 100% go with it. But yeah, that was the one name I looked at. I went, ooh, Brimo, that's an interesting trade-out.
100%. Yeah, I think Brimo's maybe iffy one if you're asking me.
Yeah, 100%. All right, back to the squad here. Again, risking Isaiah Iongi there, but, you know, as we just touched on before, we're just obviously hoping on having a big game out there, a ton of effort. If he gets through the effort players, I'm sure that he'll be okay and, find himself in some nice moments. Moving to the center wings, we got Jesse Arthurs, Tamale, Greg Marju, and Dewey. I'm all playing this week. On my bench, I got Purdue, Shibasaki that aren't playing. Robert Toya is sitting as my reserve there for my center wings.
Nice. I'm really liking the Robert Toya shout this week. He's going to make a lot of cash as well as potentially score pretty high. You know, we can see some bad defensive reads out of your boys. Very good, though, after the first little blip. But, you know, sometimes you only need one big moment for these guys, especially the cheapies, bro, to just get you that 40. And that 40 is solid. That's what you want from your cheapies. So other than that, I'm loving the starting lineup there for sure, bro. And a lot of cash gen coming your way.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing here is cash gen mode. I'm in a good baseline points wise to where I'm like top 14,000 or something like that. I can start looking at cash gen and then building my team to get better points mid to late in the season overall in general. Moving to my sixes, Cam Munster back in my lineup here and Luke Metcalf on the reserve. Money Munster against the Penrith Panthers tonight, grand final rematch. I'm sure he's got a point to prove, especially not performing at his highest ability in grand final. So I'm hoping that's the way it goes about things. But Penrith coming to that game is going to make it really tough for him as well. So I'm really curious to see what he scores tonight.
I think Munster's actually the key to breaking the Panthers system. You know, once you got a system like the Panthers, they can handle the structure really well.
Yep.
It's the bit of flair off the cuff that Munster brings that could create some damage here. And I think he'll have a bit more success than Jerome Hughes tonight. So, but that's just my opinion. So I do like the Munster shout tonight for sure.
I
Not
love
that you're
it,
going
bro.
to leave him out.
Yeah, no way. No way I'm leaving Munster out of my squad. Not if he's... it's a good price for Munster as well, 609k. Hopefully he continues the big scores for me to get a big price rise. Nico Hines and Nathan Cleary sitting there in my halfbacks. I've got the vice captain at the moment with Nico Hines. I did think about vice captaining Payne Haas. We'll talk about that a little bit more as well. You know, coming the Queensland Derby, averaging 100. But Nico... after the coming weeks, I am worried about this injury concern that is floating over the top of him. So that's going to change for me, I feel.
Yeah, well, he's already not goal kicking this week, I hear. So that's also going to hinder his price straight away. Or mostly general play kicking as well he won't be doing. So, you know, that stuff sort of will hinder his score. You really rely on him hopefully having a good game with the ball in hand, like try assist-wise, which we haven't quite seen him fire yet. And with the new way they're structuring that system, it might be hard. But nonetheless, he is a good option for vice captain, especially with what we've got left with, you know, Trbojevic out and stuff like that.
I could risk it and switch over Nathan Cleary on the vice captain because I think if the Panthers are going to go well at Melbourne, it does solely come down to Nathan Cleary. So that might be a better option as well.
I've considered Cleary mostly as well, just because the sole fact that he does stand up in big games. You know, we've seen him in grand finals, so.
That's definitely a great option. So I might sway that way depending on how I feel. Moving to my second rows, we've got Satili Tupouniua still in that starting role with no Viliami Kikau. We got Corey Horsburgh. I've got Wong in there at the moment. Unfortunately, Dylan Lucas succumbing to a hamstring injury has not helped that. I would love to have Lucas in that lineup there. Vaimonga and Hubner both, obviously Vaimonga coming off the bench, low scorer. Hubner is still out suspended, so not able to reserve either of those two.
Yeah, look, the Wong... at least he's got his back row spot, you know, and there's a few guys back and he still didn't lose that starting spot. So his confidence will be pretty high. You'll see a good score. I don't think you'll see a 70. I think you'll see more around the 50 mark. But look, that's a pass with your big gun and Dylan Lucas out.
100%. Moving to the front row, this is what I'm more excited for out of all my team at the moment. We've got Payne, Haas, and Terrell May. That could be season-long keepers by the looks of it. Tino is going to be a guy I'm looking at picking up a little bit later on, and Tino is definitely looking like a season-long keeper for me as well. So that will free up a lot of my trade options coming into this year. But Payne, Haas, Terrell May, my bench there, Nafahu White and Stewart. When Stewart comes back off the bye, he should get a nice little price increase, scoring 40s, constant 40s. Nafahu getting some minutes. Minutes are going to be dependent this week with Spencer Leniu coming back and Lindsay Collins. So don't know where he's going to sit. That's why I haven't reserved him this week.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
And then moving up top, we got Harry Grant. Usually has good success against the Penrith Panthers. He's usually their sole try scorer in those games as well, as we saw with the grand final and that. Yep. And Sanders Smith there with the reserve, you know, goal kicking halfback there for the Roosters, number 6 for the Roosters. If they were able to score a lot of points on the Warriors over the weekend, he should get a decent score there. So waiting to see how that plays out.
Sanders Smith, yeah, if you know he gets 2-3 conversions, nails them all, you're going to see a decent score, that 50 plus there, especially with his general play kicking. Yeah, I think you're pretty safe there. Out of the option you got, he would be who I'm going as well.
100%. So pretty happy with the squad, how it's run out at the moment. Obviously, the big trade-ins, as we spoke about before, Payne Haas is the big trade-in that I have. And as I envision it, this is how I kind of build my squads, is getting these guys that are season-long keepers, having their big roles. So I've got Harry Grant, Payne Haas that I envision every year in, year out. They're going to be there. Nico Hines, Cleary, Munster, and Kalen Ponga and Tommy Trbojevic that unfortunately has come down to hamstring injury. But I've got the bones of my squad now, like my skeletons there. And now it's just feeding and building on more of those. So looking at like later on in the year, you know, the Britton Quarters, Dave Fafita's for my edge back rows, you know, that's how you build it to. Angus Crichton's if he gets into amazing form. You know,
Eli Katoa, yeah.
Eli Katoa.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Keenbo. That's smart. Very smart. You got plenty of cash in that's going to happen there. And the buy rounds really help in these early days as well, because you can make your cash on some guys and then jump into the guys that have missed a game and get that cash in that later on week. So that helps. Yep. And especially when it's been, you know, Melbourne. Melbourne is a big one because you get to sit back, make some cash, and then look to grab those players.
Exactly right, bro. Exactly right. So before we jump over to your squad, bro, while I'm logging in right now, I did see Tahi Bro put up his trades, I'm thinking, for this week.
Yeah.
So Tahi has grabbed Starling for Duffy, Tamale for Purdue, and McIntyre for Stewart for cash. So Sammy McIntyre must have had a good couple of weeks for Supercoach.
He did. I was actually looking at grabbing him to potentially. But he's traded McIntyre out, so he mustn't have had too good of weeks.
Oh, I'm gonna say McIntyre to Stewart. So he's hoping for Stewart's price range next weekend, I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe not a good trade for this week, Ty, but maybe McIntyre to somebody else to get your cash gen next week, and then somebody else to Stewart the following week.
Could be a go, yeah.
Because Stewart will have to play 3 games to get that price increase, brother, not 3 rounds, even if they're on the bye, if that makes sense. And you must have had Duffy in your flex to be able to get Starling? Is that correct?
Yeah, I'd probably say that's probably how he's done it. He's probably moved into a flex position and then traded it for Starling. I'm guessing anyway.
Yeah, I think so. And then we've got another question there as well, brother.
All right. Toilet Inspector, if my trading out Brimson turns to poo, you can mock the heck out of me next week.
Brother, I don't know. I think this week you'll be in for a big week. But we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. And Tahi Bro needed the cash for MC. MC.
What you talking about, brother?
I'm not too sure. What does MC mean, Tahi Mo, bro? I'm sorry. I don't understand. But I can understand, obviously, trying to make the cash. But yeah, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Not too sure.
And
MC.
Confused.
I am confused a little bit too. Let us know, Tahi, bro. You could obviously have real good reasonings for that. But yeah, we're just misunderstanding, and that sometimes happens when you're over the internet and just messaging. Oh, it moved down Smith to half, boys. So he moved Smith down to half. That's what he's done. Smith to half back.
Smart.
And then Starling. And that's a great move because Starling's going to make a ton of cash. So obviously hoping on thing from McIntyre. So he just wants to make a ton of
again, but Stewart's still out this week, so if you seen somebody else that you like the look of to trade McIntyre in for that's playing this week, you will receive that cash increase next week, and then the following week you can potentially grab Stewart again for somebody else and grab more cash. But food for thought.
Yeah. Food for thought, my bro. Food for thought. Moving over to your squad, Brody, my bro. So coming into this week, is this pretty much set in stone at the moment, or a couple of moves that you're still thinking of?
Nah, I just literally changed one 2 seconds ago while you were live going through yours. But
love this it.
Pretty good to go.
All right. So we touched on before. We're going to go to your trades.
Yep. So
sitting up here. So we're going to start off. We'll start off at the bottom here. Payne, Haas, and Tommy Trebojevic. You did that through the flex position, I see.
Yes, I did. As soon as Tommy was ruled out, look, it was always in my mind since the second he didn't play the whole game last week. As soon as there's any sort of injury cloud over Tom Trebojevic, you start to worry that he might limit his workload during games. He might get limited for minutes during games. He might get rested during winnable games. All these sorts of things, or he might just miss games like he is this week. And sitting at 876 cash, for me, I wanted to trade that out and make that cash somewhere else, as well as not be missing that much cap while we're in the early stages trying to stay with the pack of getting higher scores. So traded him out for Payne Haas, which is freed up a lot of cash for me to do other things. And I've already pretty set. I've got my cash gen guys from the start, which I was pretty spot on with. But I've just thrown another one in there of Tamale. But yeah, Payne Haas is my way to go this week. And next week I'm going to move him back to that front row position is my thinking, and get somebody else nice and special in that flex position. But you got to wait for next week. I'm just going to tease you guys a little bit like that.
Yeah. A little teaser. Hey, settle down there, mate. Hey, this podcast could go totally different from that point on.
Subscription fee coming up now.
Great little option, though. Josh, I know you're talking about trades with Tommy Turbo before. As I said before, this is what Brody envisioned. So it was similar to what Josh was envisioning as well. He's worried about Tommy Trbojevic, the hamstring. You know, he could come out, get a 5 next week and be out for a long period of time, or, you know, limited in minutes and that. Obviously, I'm banking on that Tommy, the resting that it is. If he does go big, I don't want to get left behind if he does go big. But also there is that high risk of it coming out and having a shocker, and then I'm left behind as well. So it's a high risk, high reward sort of play. But I like that you went with the more strategic look of Payne, Haas, consistent, getting that 100-point average week in, week out. That's a solid number there too.
Yeah, and it was just a way to grab him before that price increase next week, and it just strengthened up my pack. And then I guess I'm just chasing a couple of good fullbacks to fill in, but the 2 guys I'm looking at won't get a price increase because they've both had buys. So I'm going to be laughing in that regard.
And there's your little teaser for the week. There's your little teaser for next week. All right, moving on. So we got Tamale in for Bronson Sherry out. Great move again. Obviously, as we discussed before, Sherry unfortunately not getting those Supercoach points as much as what the eye test kind of shows him to do. Yeah. Tamale getting all those Supercoach points on the opposite end.
Yeah, cash gen there, cheapie, bottom dollar cheapie that's going to go up a fair bit there in cash. Freed me up cash to make these other couple of moves. And yeah, just disappointed on the scorecards for my liking. Sherry, it's probably my worst trade at this point. Worst selection at this point from that starting pack that starting group that I picked, Bronson Sherry, because I did toss up a few guys in that position. I had Jack Howarth, who would have been great from that round 1 performance, and then I went to Montoya, who has been great in 2 performances, and I settled on Sherry, and I got one wrong.
That's what happens, man. You just gotta, as I said, just chop it off and keep moving on forward. So it's good to see you get a really nice price increase there with Tamale, and you'll move that on forward next week while you're chasing a couple of big guns out there on the market. Also sitting there, you got Terrell May coming in for Finay Fuyaki. So Finay Fuyaki comes back this week, but obviously you bring in a guy that is now looking like a bona fide gun in Supercoach. Both weeks back to back, averaging around that 80-point range, 82.5. Solid little number there.
Yeah, and Finay Fuyaki is back, but he didn't get named. So that's also one of the reasons I traded him out.
Did he get cut off in the cutoff?
I don't know if he got cut off, but he wasn't originally named. He was in the reserves when the first team list came out on Tuesday.
That was definitely the thought. I'm not too sure if he's going to be a late chuck in, and that's the thing too. You high risk, high reward. If he doesn't get chucked in, you're left with a guy that doesn't score. Or you go to Terrell May, that's going to score big anyway, right?
Yeah, exactly. And he was never going to be a set and forget Finay Fuyaki, especially with the Dolphins on the chop and change of back rolls they got on the bench at the moment. So it was kind of more of a early cash grab where stack other positions, and then he had the head knock, and now he's not going to get his spot back. So
yeah, and he doesn't get cut off till the 24-hour cutoff, which is which is tomorrow. For some reason, I was thinking it was Friday today. That's fucking mental, but feels like a Friday a little bit. We're hoping for Friday anyway. Hopefully Friday comes. But great little move there. Terrell May, as I said, started off the season with a bang. So obviously get him in your squad, and hopefully, with the pairing up of Payne, Haas and that in the future, he's going to be someone you hold for a while.
100%. And you look at my leftover cash there as well, which is sitting pretty full for next week.
Oh yeah. Especially with this cash gen coming your way with a lot of other players here. You're sitting very pretty.
Gonna go bang, baby.
All right, bro. Talk us through your squad here. So obviously Payne Haas with your flex and that, your fullback position.
Yeah. Payne Haas flex, obviously, as you said, vice captain option there. KP, captain, 100%.
Love it. Seeing GT there. My boy Brody with tatted up. Neck minute Ash will tatted up under the shirt. Not yet, brother. Not yet.
Ash just has nice little ginger hairs like shaved into tattoos. Just kidding, boys.
Sexy.
So yeah, for me, same thing as you, brother. KP, another captain option. He'll be captain option potential all year. If anything happens for the Knights, it's around this man here. Iongi, I've left out of my team for this week. He's just solely there to grab that cash until next week. So hopefully he does have a solid performance still. Moving on to the back line there. Ride or die with Casey McLean this week. Hopefully he doesn't get dropped last minute. And then, yeah, Osako, hoping for a big bounce back. Greg Marju's almost a set and forget at this stage. And Jesse Arthurs, I think, has been probably the best bottom dollar cheapie to date. He's really performed, and he's going to get a nice little well-deserved increase there. But I still don't think I'll trade him out once that happens. I really like what the Broncos are doing down that left edge with him. And he's definitely an option worth keeping all season until he probably gets up around that 600K mark, and then you're better off swapping out for guys that have a good base to them as well.
Yeah, totally agree, bro.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts on Arthurs there? Are you looking for him long-term or just see how he goes with price increases?
Is see how he goes with price increases. Like, he has the ability to go big for the season, especially playing off the back of the Broncos if they do hit their potential, right? With Reece Walsh just slinging in ball, try scoring ability, that sort of thing. But I like to go for certain names that I feel safe under, right? So like, Brian To'o's, obviously Greggy Marju we have at the moment, Jermaine Osakos, even players like that. So these are players I want to get up to, and he will be the guy to do so for me. Like, so if I had a choice of him or, Brian To'o, I'm going Brian To'o, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And you're going to be pretty safe still during Origin because Osako and Marju already missed that out. You don't really need Arthurs to also be an option that misses out. You could probably ride with these guys that you got there on the bench, and Robert Toya, who won't play Origin, and Tamale, which won't play Origin. So, but yeah, potential there. 100%. So Shibasaki still there on my reserves just to build cash. But yeah, this week, selecting Robert Toya and Tamale to be my bench players there. Also just struggling with who else to pick here. The potential there for bottom dollar cheapies on the outside backs could score more just by snagging a try potentially. I think the Roosters and the Raiders both have favorable matchups this week to score, a couple of tries. So that's why I went with these guys there.
100%, bro. Moving over to your 6th jersey, Lockie Galvin and Lukey Metcalf, 2 really good scorers of last week.
Yeah, so I went with Lockie Galvin as my vice this week as well. I think he's going to want the ball in his hands for a lot of this game. And I think things happen around him. So potential vice captain loop here. And if that happens, I'll just... I'll probably have to put like Hubner in or something and captain him. Just to get to that vice captain loop there.
Yeah, looking at your players, you got Lockie Hubner is probably your best option there. Everyone else looks like they will be playing. Lockie Hubner would be your man.
As long as that game is after the Tigers.
Yes, I'll double check that just quickly. Overall, but love Lockie Galvin coming into the season though, bro. I love that. As you said, we spoke about today, or last night actually. Sorry, on Down Unders. The amount he touches the ball, just things end up happening for him. So, he's definitely a great option as super coach for that.
100%. And I'm going to ride with Metcalf after missing out last week. So please, Metcalf, don't be a roller coaster up down and perform again this week.
So unfortunately, Lockie Hubner does play just before Lockie Galvin.
Fuck's sake. Well, I'm going to have to rethink my vice captain loop, guys. Ash, you got any suggestions for me, or are you just going to help everybody else out?
Luke Metcalf.
No.
Looking at your squad, I was contemplating a little bit of Payne Haas vice captain action. Yet to score a try, but is averaging 100 points per game. Going up against the Cowboys at Suncorp. The Cowboys should be up for that game, but that might get the best out of Payne Haas in that game. So base-wise, he could base up to 70s and that. Scoring a try on top of that, he can get upwards of that range.
They play tomorrow night? Is this the first Friday night game?
It's the second Friday night game.
Sorry, is this the first home game for the Broncos?
Yes.
If you could please select vice captain on Payne Haas for me right now, that would be much appreciated. I can see what you mean, bro. Madge is going to rely on really these guys turning it around and not making it a big dip in their season. And I think the bounce back will be pretty big. And the Cowboys have been very poor. So I think we will see the best out of Payne Haas. And, if not, I'm confident that KP will do the job anyway. But just in case Payne Haas does get that 110 and I don't want to risk it with KP, should be sweet.
Keep thinking, though, because Nathan Cleary could be another option as well if you do want to risk it for a Thursday night vice captain loop. Of Nathan Cleary going up against the Melbourne Storm is a bit tougher of an ask there, but he's more than likely going to have those games that are 130s and stuff like that, where Payne, we're just banking on him scoring a try to push him above that 100 mark. So that's the only other option I can really give to you because, yeah, the only games you got, Melbourne Storm, Panthers, Warriors, Roosters, Broncos, Cowboys, and Sharks, Rabbits before Lockie Galvin and that. So
yeah. The only thing I worry about Cleary now is with Edwards out is maybe he's the only man left to do something, and Melbourne can shut that down pretty easily. And I'm not saying that Cleary's not good enough to pull something off still, but
yeah,
it just really limits all the pressure to be on him, and Melbourne can solely focus on him to create something, in my opinion. So,
yeah.
But anyway,
moving over then, touching on to the halfbacks that we have here, Nathan Cleary and Nico Hines, set and forgets, pretty much as we said before.
Yeah, I don't see me trading these guys out all year really until potentially Origin or one of these guys get injured. But for now, set and forget. Don't think there's too many better halfbacks in the game. They might be on a week-to-week basis, but over an average of the whole season, these two are the guys that you kind of got to have.
100%, bro. 100%. Tino Fa'asuamaleauis, Satili Tupanua, Corey Horsburgh. Similar names we spoke about before in my squad, but Tino Fa'asuamaleauis, the different ones there. You having him early on is a great little leg up that you have in your squad there. So touch on him a little bit. Yeah,
like as soon as Tino was fit and ready after a good preseason, he's a must-have in my Supercoach squad. He was 2 years ago, and he'll forever be a go-to. You know, it's good to have captains. You know that they're always going to try and go hard for their team, win, lose, or draw. So you know that they're going to get a fairly good score. And I'm really liking the look at my 5 here. It's juicy, very, very juicy.
Very, very juicy. Your bench, obviously not a lot of people like playing or going to be any decent there. But looking at your front row pairing of Paddy Carrigan, Terrell May, yum. It's going to be looking good this week.
Yeah, look, and I just noticed today that Paddy got a duel, which is weird considering he's only played front this year so far, unless they're taking into consideration he moves to lock when Harrington goes off and Xavier Willison comes on. So I'm glad they've done that because next week, bang, Paddy Carrigan straight to that back row and Payne Haas up front. And then, on the bench, as you touched on, Jack, I'm glad he's got another spot there to get a price increase next week. And Hubner's going to be a hold until he gets his price increase, and then I'll potentially look to upgrade him if I need to. And Vaimawanga, well, if I ever need a last-minute effort, chuck that dude in there if I've got nobody else to pick from.
100%. Maybe Webby will give him a little bit more minutes in weeks coming, ease him into first grade and get him consistent minutes because once he gets decent minutes, he will be a good scorer, I do believe, in NRL. Moving up to your hooker position here, probably, one of the most consistent hookers in the competition, even as starting on Supercoach, Blake Brayley, another 63 for you over the weekend. Great to see him there. And Sandon Smith there, 76. You haven't got him reserved at the moment, but, Brayley, he's going to score fairly well for you this weekend. A good matchup as well against the Rabbitohs.
Yeah, I'm pretty keen on Blakey Brayley. I know there's guys out there that are, sometimes get 100, like the Wade Egan's and Peter over the weekend, Connor Watson, but those guys can also score 30s. So Blake Brayley will sit somewhere in the middle there. I don't need him to be a superstar that produces 100 one week, 30 the next week. I'm happy for him to, and I'm happy with his price for him to just chug along there at the 63s to 70s.
Is this the week that we see Blake Brayley tip it on to Adam Fanua-Blake to go through the front door on the South Sydney Rabbitohs?
100%. We're seeing an ads try this weekend, whether it comes off Blake Brayley or a little bit wider with him running it, Cody Walker. Ads is crashing over this week. I can promise you that now.
I love that, bro. I love that, guys. As touching on, Brody still got 291,000. Bro, I don't know why I couldn't talk there for some reason.
What a numbers, bro.
What a numbers there, bro. I was like, oh my God, he's got cash here. Oh my God. Next week's going to be a good week for you, bro. Obviously, you got Payne Haas now, but when you get those big fullbacks back in your squad, you're going to be laughing.
Yeah, so me and you both went for the option of the 3 trades this week, and I dare say, looking at it right now, for me, I might use another 3 next week. And I know that's chewing into my trades early, but after that, I might settle down a little bit and, I can wait week to week. It's more so just on these weeks where it's like the cash gen's going to come and then, you got guys that you want to get after the cash gen. So just really using it up now, and then it'll be kind of set and forget for round 5, 6, 7 sort of deal. That's what I'm looking at anyway, because you do want a lot of your trades around that origin period and that back end of the season as well.
All right, guys. Before we jump into our overs and unders for the weekend, we're going to touch on our league and the Down Unders League, guys. If you want to jump into the Down Unders League, actually, I should probably go to my account here so it shows the code. I'll quickly jump over to that. A good week for our Supercoach League. Last week, remember, we were top 100? Like, we were like around about that, weren't we? We were 700?
I can't remember, bro.
I can't remember, bro. But our league's been going fairly well. Obviously, we got some really good Supercoach players in our league, which is great to see. Obviously, everyone knows what they're talking about in our chat, which is great to see as well.
Yeah, no, they're all firing off in the chat.
Moving over here. All right, we're back. Let's go here. Down Unders, guys. If you want to jump into Down Unders League, that is the league code right there. So feel free to jump in if you're only just viewing us for the first time. Also, make sure you like and subscribe. It is free if you want to join me on YouTube week in, week out. So, sitting at the top of the league, we got Sherry Not So Ripe, Johnny Boy. Good to see you, Johnny Boy. A very interesting squad here. Obviously, went with the loop, I'm guessing. So, KP loop for the weekend.
I think that was the go-to move.
Yeah, great to see. Great to see. Iongi's probably a lower scorer there. Good little back line there. Dylan Lucas getting 97. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck 64. Pretty solid little number. Jesse Arthur's obviously there. Luke Metcalf. Jerome Luai not getting a full performance at 19.
No. Yeah, very disappointing.
Good edge back rollers there. Other than obviously Olakawatu not getting the biggest score over the weekend. But Tino, it's great to see.
Tino, Connor Watson, yeah, really buffed him up there. Oh, leaving Horsburgh out, but he would have done that for the loop.
Yeah. There's definitely He could have maybe dropped Simkim down to an edge back roller and probably pull safe off or something, but there's many different ways to skin a cat. And Sandon Smith getting that starting hooker role. Well done there. Overall ranking for Cherry, not so right, 1,189. So doing a great job there at the top of our comp and the top of Super League there, top 1,000 nearly. Nice.
That's a very good start. I know it's early days and there's not a lot of points between people. You're probably looking at between 200 and 0. Up to 200 points probably difference between a lot of people at this stage, but yeah, to be leading all that high up to start with is great. Yeah, we're at 134 as a league.
Well done. 134. Great to see, guys. You're all doing very well. We'll go through the next couple, and then we'll jump over to our over and unders. Mongrel. Let's see the Mongrel mob, the Mongrel squad. We got Isaiah Ongi there in that flex position. Kalen Ponga. Jaden Campbell with that 46 there. I'm sure he'll get a little bit better in weeks to come with the amount he touched the ball, but a good little option there in the future. Tamale, Lucas, Arthurs, Toya. Jack Howarth is going to be a good one for him in weeks coming as well, sitting on his bench.
Yeah, I think you would have probably seen a lot bit different of a lineup here. I feel like he didn't have Iongi in his flex. I feel like he would have maybe had Munster in his flex normally, but because of the bye, he's moved around and done a little chopping and changing.
Actually, yeah, probably a good thought. Jaden Campbell moved down, stuff like that. Flex, yep. Yeah, I can definitely see that, bro. I can definitely see that. He went with the Tom Duffy move. I'll probably say that he ends up going the Jamie Humphreys option. That is a good cash riser as well if you want to go that for halfback, but I'll have to see how he goes in future. Plath, Gilbert, Seyfarth as your edge back roll. It's not the greatest edge back row.
No, I'm seeing a lot of dips in players, but then, he's got the big scores there that you can see coming up in the front rows and then the hooker and
Toby Cowsman with the 61 points there. Great little option.
He's going to get a nice price increase as well coming as well. So he could be an option after the bye week.
Great to see there, Mongrel, my bro. And last but not least, we're going to jump into Liam's squad here. Eliminator. Little play on words there. You see Liam in the middle of that name.
Hey, look out. That's smart. We got geniuses.
we got geniuses in this thing. Tommy Trebojevic, Kalen Ponga, Isaiah Iongi as their fullbacks. Pretty consistent fullback looked for majority of our teams here. Ali Leotoa being a little bit of a different play there, and Skelton, but Leotoa, good scoring there.
100%. That's great. And I just had a thought, we need to post in the Supercoach chat these guys to watch our live. I don't think I ever see these guys in our chat. I don't know if they know that they've joined our league or.
Yeah, they must have seen us somehow to join our league, brother. So they must have jumped onto a live at least once. So interesting to see how that goes. But yeah,
maybe they didn't like our tips.
Jump in live week in, week out. Oh, he went the loophole play too. Simpkins seems to be a guy everyone's bringing in for that too. Very interesting little play.
Maybe they just traded out for the cheapest person possible.
Just to get a nothing. Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Because nobody's holding Simpkin, right?
No way.
But apparently two guys now have, so.
I know, it's crazy back to back. Hopgood with the 43. He shouldn't be seeing that too many week in, week out, but unfortunately the Parramatta Eels playing the way they are sucks for, he's trying so hard, but just the amount of errors he gets off the back of that doesn't really help him.
Yeah.
Jacob Preston there, 66. Payne, Haas, Horsburgh, May. Great front row pairing there for last week. Yeah,
looks familiar.
Watson and Sanders Smith. Yeah, looks familiar, right?
Very familiar.
All right, brother. We'll move over to our overs and unders to end off the show, guys. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in, week out, as always, before we jump in. Let's go through last week's results with our over and unders here. So, Adam Reynolds, 105 the week before of last. So, last week, he ended up getting 69. We both said unders. He did go under.
No doubt. No surprise.
Connor Tracy, 90 points. We end up saying last week he'll go under. He got 63 points.
Yeah, even with the try at the end there.
I know, wild that, right? Nathan Cleary, 68 points in the first week of Supercoach. We went overs, and he did go over, 80 points.
Killing it. Look, 3 from 3.
This one was pretty much a given. I just wanted to bring up, Reed Marnie getting 20 points. Can we all believe that in week 1? Guess what he got in week 2?
I think he got 65.
78 points.
78. I was close.
Big jump there from Reed Marnie. Bradman Best, he got 40 points in his first week of Supercoach.
He brained it.
We
this
went
week.
overs, 99 points.
Yeah. Killer.
Great look there. To finish off the week, guys, this week, our first one, Kalen Ponga, 129 points, 790K. He averaged 105 points last season. And last year, 81 points he averaged. He's at the moment averaging 105 points. Does he go over or under this week?
I was gonna say over, but I think he'll go under this week now with Dylan Lucas out. Because Dylan Lucas does create a line break assist there for him, if not a try assist. And I just don't know if he's gonna have that same look and that same danger around him to give him that freedom that Ponga is currently playing with. So I think that's going to hinder his score just a little bit, and I think we'll see high 90s.
Yep. I'm going to go with you. I'm going to go unders. I think it's going to be tough to crack that 130 mark, especially with the team that he has running out there this weekend. I'm going to be right there with you, but I think he's going to crack over that 100 mark. So I'm going about 110s, I think. So it's going to be close, but not over. My next one, Jacob Preston. 66 points, sitting at 609K. Last season, he averaged 62 points, and at the moment, he's averaging 57.5. So 66 points he scored this week. Does he go over or under?
Over.
Big
Toby time
Sexton,
over.
Toby Sexton probably taking up a lot more ball with no Birdo. Is that what you're
100%. And Reed Marnie will take a lot more control, and he loves to hit his back rowers on that close to the line lead run. And Presto without kick out as well. We'll see a lot more ball his way as well.
Parramatta's defense at the moment too
is
been a bit lacking.
Mud.
Yeah, it's lacking. Next guy we got there, Keanu.
Hey, were you going over, under?
Actually, yeah, I'm going to go over with you. I think Toby Sexton is going to lay him on some really nice ones, score a try maybe. Parramatta's defense is just lacking at the moment, so I think he could go for 80, 90.
Yep, 100%.
Keanu Kinney, 62 points at the moment at 707K. Last season, because he doesn't have an average this season, he only played one game. 72-point average last season. So does he go better than 62 points this week against Newcastle?
I'm going to say he does. I'm going to say he goes better.
Goes over. I will ride you there at home. After the performance last week against the Dogs, I think a bigger performance for Gold Coast. I'm thinking probably about that 70 to 80. He'll get back around that average.
I think so too. I think we'll see a try assist, if not a try from him this week.
Yo, this one's going to be an interesting one. Hudson Young, 44 points last week against the Brisbane Broncos in that big performance there. He's at 685K at the moment. Last year, he averaged 70 points per game. This year, right now, he's averaging 60. So 44 points he averaged there. Does he go over 44 or go under?
I'd like to say over, but I feel like LOCKOUT is going to cream him. And then he's not going to play the rest of the game. But I'm going to say over.
I went for a little trick play there because that's what I was thinking. I think on that defensive edge, LOCKOUT with Hudson Young, depending on how that goes. I think with Tom Trbojevic, I think they're probably going to find themselves in that little position of very similar to what happened with us, where they're going to be limited field position-wise, and the Raiders will try to make them go around them. So they'll end up finding good field position. So I'm going Hudson Young over. I think he's going to get a lot more hands on the ball this weekend.
I think so.
Yeah, try to attack DC after the week that he had last week.
Yeah, especially, reporting some sort of a back injury, why not go at him? So,
yeah, I thought LOCKOUT would scare you a little bit there, but yeah, good to see. Good to see.
Nah, definitely not.
Well, the last one, this one's actually a tough one because I think we do have high hopes for this guy, but he just doesn't score Supercoach points. Liam Martin scored 29 points last week, obviously in a dire performance of the Roosters. 436K, so he is going to go down in price. Last year's average, 45 points. And this season, he's averaging 43.5 points. So not that much of an uptick there. 29 points. Is he going to go over or under this weekend against the Melbourne Storm?
He'll go over. He'll go over on that just in tackles alone. 29 for Liam Martin is coverable.
Yep, we're going over.
Yeah.
I'm going to ride that one with you as well because I do think that's going to go all Nathan Cleary's way. And he's going to have to lay on Liam Martin, and Liam Martin's going to have to get through a ton of work in this game. But 40...
We've seen the success Liam Martin had in the grand final, so...
That's a good point as well. Very, very good point. 436K, he could probably dip to that 300K mark. Probably not a notable Supercoach player, but yeah, interesting, bro. Very interesting. 29 points he scored last week.
Yeah, I don't know how maybe a lot of missed tackles, a lot of penalties given away, a couple of errors.
Yeah, I'd probably say so too, brother. I'd probably say so too. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us to another lockout. Brother, anything more you want to touch on before we leave him? Love him, leave him?
Nothing for me, boys. Another good week.
Do you want to stand up off that seat and show them everything else you got?
Nah, I think the live chat's gone a little bit dry, so I won't embarrass myself.
All right, my brother, thank you so much for another week there. Guys, thank you so much for another week. If you enjoyed the content, please make sure you like and subscribe and make sure you tune in next week. Hopefully all your Supercoach teams go amazing this week and let us know next week how you guys have gone. Keep an eye on the channel for any more clips in it over the weekend. And yeah, enjoy your footy, guys. Take it easy. Up the wires.
Take it easy. Keep that average up, guys. Peace.
Laters.